Tarot. I'm here to do your daily collective message for August 2nd, 2025. I hope that you're doing well. Today is Saturday. When you find this message is when you're meant to receive it, though, as time is fluent. If you're new here, welcome. I'm going to be pulling a card from the Wild Soul Animal Oracle deck, as well as some tarot cards for an overall message for all signs, all placements, and then I'll finish off the reading with a message from the universe. If you are returning and you are a subscriber, thank you so much for being here as well. Thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing. It really does help the collective and get more messages out to others. So thank you, thank you. So if you haven't subscribed already, feel free to do that if you want, so that you can get future notifications. So let's call in spirit. Okay, and feel free to fast forward the video so that you can get to the cards already. So angels, guides, ancestors, the most important message for the collective, all signs, all placements for August 2nd, 2025, please. Most important message, please, Spirit. Grab your tea, coffee, water, whatever it is you like to have. I've got my coffee this morning. Most important message for the collective, all signs, all placements. And we have the turtle. And the word is patience. So I'm going to read from the Animal Oracle book and see what the turtle and the word patience has to say. Okay. Okay, so it says, the turtle, a symbol of patience, longevity, and steady progress, represents the wisdom of taking life one step at a time. Turtles move slowly but surely, carrying their homes on their backs and teaching us that value of patience and persistence. This card suggests that you need to slow down and be patient with yourself or a situation. The turtle reminds you that slow and steady wins the race. Practice, practice, and trust in the process. Progress may be slow, but it is steady and sure. So practice patience. Okay. And I got for something, for example, I've been learning piano again. Played it a long time ago, but relearning and playing it out live again. So it is persistence, practicing patience and knowing that, the more work I put into it, the more benefit I will get. So that kind of feeling when it comes to having patience, practicing patience, knowing that, steady, patient and steady wins the race kind of thing. So, okay. Let's pull some tarot cards to get an overall message about the turtle and patience. Angels, guides, ancestors, the most important message for the collective, all signs, all placements, August 2nd, 2025, please. Six of Wands, Three of Pentacles, Eight of Pentacles, back of the deck of the Queen of Cups. Okay. So it's kind of like telling me right away that perhaps you're wanting something to get off the ground, and with the Three of Pentacles here, you're wanting to get something off the ground that you've been waiting for, and you're really trying to be patient about something. a creative endeavor, something that has been slow moving, little progress, etc. And you're losing your patience perhaps with it. You have a lot of people that are, supporting you, um, uh, really, cheering you on, leading you towards that victory, towards that happiness, that happily ever after when it comes to this group collaboration or some type of artistic collaboration that's having a hard time getting off the ground. Um, you're dealing with, feeling like you're not patient enough. And Spirit is saying that, patience, slow and steady progress wins the race. So even though this creative endeavor is having a hard time getting off the ground, you do have a lot of people that are encouraging you, that are leading you towards victory, that are supporting you along your journey. We have the Eight of Pentacles here as well. And I feel like you just need to nurture it more. You need to nurture it. You need to take time with it. You need to feed it. You need to put more work into it in order for it to come to fruition, to what it is that you're wanting it to be. It feels like some type of creative endeavor here with the Three of Pentacles in the reverse position, where it hasn't really gotten off the ground. This creative or artistic or some type of collaboration that you're wanting to get off the ground. I feel like you have a lot of support from others, but it's just having a hard time getting off the ground. It feels like what you need to really do is to nurture this creative or some type of collaboration that you're wanting to basically make your dreams come true. You just need to nurture it more in order for it to get off the ground. And you need to have more patience. Remember, longevity and slow and steady race. A slow and steady will win the race. Much like the, if you ever remember the story of the tortoise and the hare, where they're racing to get to the finish line. And, the hare or the rabbit, is just like, oh my gosh, I'm always going to win this race. I'm always going to win, blah, blah, blah. And, the tortoise just keeps moving along, slow and steady, doesn't stop. Like the rabbit, the rabbit or the hare just stops and says, I could take a nap right now. I'm always going to win the race, blah, blah, blah. And what happens in the end, the tortoise or the turtle wins the race because it's just slow and steady, and gets in front of the rabbit or hare and wins the race because, the hare or the rabbit, isn't really focusing on nurturing or having a slow, steady pace to win the race. And, the turtle will win the race. So that's an example here of what's happened. The Queen of Cups is in the shadow for what you don't see. I feel like this is a good thing. So winning or having a slow and steady pace to win the race. The Queen of Cups in the shadow is telling me that, being devoted to your creative endeavor is really what you're wanting to do. You really want to be devoted to this task at hand, this collaboration, but you really need to nurture it more. You need to have a slow and steady pace in order to win the race. Let's go back and clarify here. Rome was not built overnight. In other words, that's what Spirit is saying to me in my right ear, is Rome was, and that's just a phrase, but it's like, things cannot happen always just, right at that moment that you want them to. Sometimes you really have to nurture things. You have to put a lot of work into things. You have to have patience with it. And really, nurture it for quite some time before you actually benefit from whatever it is, whatever creative endeavor or whatever collaboration that you're wanting to do. For instance, you know, if you're opening up a business, whatever, you're not going to have the clientele right from the beginning. You have to kind of nurture it. You've got to get the word out. You've got to advertise. You might have to have an event, things like that. You really have to nurture it before it gets off the ground. And that's what this reading is all about today. Let's do some clarification. Please clarify the Six of Wands. I'm going to have to nurture my lawn today, as I'm going to have to do some yard work is what I'm thinking about. I'm going to nurture my home too. I need to do some house cleaning too. So it's all about home life for me today. We have the Page of Swords. Let's clarify the Three of Pentacles. And we have the Moon card. Please clarify the Queen of Cups. Yeah, it seems like you're really upset about this thing not getting off the ground. But you really need to just know that you have a lot of support from others. The Queen of Wands and the Page of Wands in the shadow here. What this is telling me is that, you have a lot of people that are supporting and guiding you towards victory here. But you're really up in your head about this. You're feeling like you're defeated when it comes to this collaboration or artistic endeavor. But what, slow and steady wins the race still, yeah, I'm feeling like you're very upset about this not getting off the ground. So perhaps you have some type of creative endeavor or collaboration or something that you're really wanting to get off the ground and it's really not happening at this time. We have the Page of Swords here, clarifying the Knight of Wands. You could have been dealing with people that were, really wanting to support you, lead you to victory, but you might have come across people that were not exactly your best friend. In other words, they may have said, oh, that's great that you're doing that. And then secretly, they may have been like, that'll never happen. They'll never get off the ground. They're never going to have what they want here. So you may have been dealing with somebody like that, or a spirit is saying in my ear, like you could have like family or friends saying, that's a big risk for you, and really not, standing by you and saying, okay, that's great, but that's a hard thing to do. I feel like somebody might be saying that to somebody. Or like, make sure you have a plan B, they want to support you, but it's like they're wishy-washy about it. They're wanting to be supportive, but then in the back of their mind or even out loud, they're saying to you like, I don't know, that's pretty far-fetched. That may not happen. So you better have a plan B. So you may be dealing with somebody like that too. I feel like because this creative endeavor is having a hard time getting off the ground, or collaboration or whatever it is that you're wanting to do, this is leaving you, it's keeping you up at night. It's keeping you upset that it's not taking off as fast as you would like it to. So whatever it is that you're wanting, which is leaving you up in your head here. We have the Moon card that is clarifying this Eight of Pentacles here in the reverse position. With the moon, and it's like, it feels like, nurturing and watering it, putting a lot of work into it. It makes you feel like, why am I going to put so much work into this? It's not happening and nothing's getting off the ground. Why do I have to keep working at this? So it's keeping you up in your head here. It's making you feel like, why should I even bother putting work into this? It's not getting off the ground. But this is just delusional thoughts or lies that you're telling yourself. You really do need to nurture it more and have a slow and steady pace in order to win the race or have victory in it, in whatever it is that you're wanting to get off the ground here. So you're up in your head a little bit too much here. You really need to just nurture this more. Like I said, with the business, you know, for instance, if you're wanting to get off a business to get off the ground and you have a great idea, again, it just takes a long time sometimes to get it off the ground. You really have to nurture it. You have to do events. You might have to do sales. You might have to do, you know, word of mouth. You might have to go door to door. So there might be a lot of things that you need to do in order to nurture this more, and you're up in your head about it a little bit. We have the Queen of Wands that is clarifying the Queen of Cups. This is just telling me that, you know, this could be you. I feel like you could be very confident person in whatever it is that you're wanting to create or collaborate or whatever it is that you're wanting to do here. I feel like you really need to be a strong individual. You could be female, doesn't have to be. You're a very sincere person, but yeah, you have to learn to be confident here in your approach into this endeavor. Be confident in your ideas. Be confident in whatever it is that you're wanting to do here. I think the more kind and caring you are to people, the more devoted you are to this task at hand, the more likely that people are going to want to gravitate towards you in whatever it is that you're wanting to do or get off the ground. So I think that you really just need to get out there and really talk to people about your idea, about this collaboration or whatever creative endeavor you're wanting to get off the ground here. I really think that, you know, people really do like you. And I think that the more that you work at this, the better it will be. The more care that you give it, the more you feed it, it's going to get off the ground here. The Page of Wands is in the shadow as well for what you don't see. In the reverse position, you may be dealing with somebody who is not the brightest of people within this creative or collaboration. And you may have made some poor choices along the way as well in this creative endeavor, which has had an effect on it getting off the ground. But patience is the virtue here. So slow and steady wins the race. You just need to nurture this creative endeavor more. Know that there are people that support you, that really want victory for you. There may be some people there that may be skeptical about what you're doing. But again, you know, you have a good heart. You have a great imagination. You're a people pleaser. And I think what you're wanting to really do is a beautiful thing. Excuse me. So let's pull a card from the messages from the universe to finish up your reading. This reminds me of the band that I formed about 6-7 years ago. And, you know, I wanted to do this project and people were like, oh, I don't know about that, you know, and it's a tribute band. So it's like, you know, it was really before tribute bands really got off the ground and, you know, they were really going at it and like they are now. And, you know, people were skeptical and I'm like, I have a vision. And, you know, I really honed in on that vision. I worked hard. You know, it didn't get off the ground right away. But, you know, slow and steady wins the race. And now I have a nice following and I tour all over Florida. So, you know, it's and word of mouth has gotten out there about my band and, you know, slow and steady wins the race. I really had to nurture it. I really had to advertise. I really had to, you know, speak to people. I had to get off the stage at night and really go and shake hands with people and meet people and thank them for coming and, you know, really nurture those relationships. So that reminds me of this reading here. So whatever it is that you're wanting to get off the ground, you just really need to remember that slow and steady wins the race here. Angels, guides, ancestors, a message from the universe, please, for the collective, all signs for August 2nd, 2025, please. Okay, so it says if you find yourself constantly seeing reoccurring numbers or words, it is a sign that you're being supported, cared for, and divinely protected by the universe. Beautiful things are about to happen to you. Well, that's beautiful message for you today. So again, putting the care and nurturing whatever it is, this creative endeavor or collaboration or business or whatever it is that you're wanting to get off the ground, you're really being supported by the universe here, okay? And you may see signs that the universe is supporting you through this by seeing reoccurring numbers or words or signs that you see all the time. It's letting you know the universe is here, not only to support you and protect you, but to tell you that things are about to happen. And I feel like that's within what you're really wanting here. So that's the message I have for you. I hope that you enjoyed the message today. I hope that you have a wonderful day today. Please be kind and caring to others. And, compassion goes a long way when it comes to the collective. We are essentially a one energy here within the universe. And, remember that. So be kind and caring to each other. Namaste.